Imagine this. It's 1920, and you find yourself standing outside a chaotic stock exchange, watching crowds erupt in excitement. People are shouting, brokers are frantically waving papers, and everyone is convinced they're about to become rich overnight. The market is booming, and it seems like anyone who throws their money into stocks is making a fortune. It's a gold rush, a feverish race where fortunes are made and lost by the minute. But in the middle of all this madness, there's one man who doesn't seem fazed. He's not running around placing bets on the next big thing. He's just leaning against the wall, quietly reading a book. And it's not a book about stocks, business, or economics. No, this guy's reading about trees. Trees, in the middle of the biggest stock frenzy of the decade. Sounds odd, right? Here's the thing. That man wasn't wasting time. He knew something that the rest of the crowd didn't. While everyone was chasing fast money, he understood a different kind of wealth. One that grew steady and unshakable, like the trees he was reading about. And when the stock market came crashing down in 1929, wiping out fortunes in a matter of days, he wasn't among the ones panicking. His money was safe, his investments sound, and his wealth intact. What did he understand that so many others ignored? It's a principle as old as time, and if you grasp it, you'll never look at wealth the same way again. The truth is, wealth isn't about chasing the latest hype. It's about planting deep roots. Just like trees don't grow overnight, neither does real financial success. Our mysterious tree reader knew that the secret to building lasting wealth wasn't in risky short-term bets. It was in patience, consistency, and the power of compounding. Think about it. What happens when a tree is planted? At first, not much seems to be happening. The seed sits there, barely noticeable, but underground, roots are forming, digging deep into the earth, creating a foundation strong enough to withstand storms. Over time, the tree begins to grow. Slowly at first, then stronger, taller, and more resilient with each passing year. Now, compare this to the way most people handle money. They see an exciting new stock, a get-rich-quick scheme, or a risky business venture, and they throw everything they have into it, hoping to see instant results. It's like planting a seed and expecting a fully grown oak tree the next morning. When it doesn't happen, they panic, pull their money out, and jump to the next trend, repeating the cycle endlessly. The smarter approach: treat wealth building like growing a forest. Instead of betting everything on one risky venture, diversify. Invest in things that grow steadily over time, like index funds, real estate, or dividend stocks. Think of it as planting different types of trees that will mature at different times, ensuring that you always have something flourishing. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Wealth, like trees, doesn't just grow, it multiplies. This is where the power of compounding comes in. You may have heard the famous phrase, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. What it means is that small, consistent growth beats big, flashy gains in the long run. A single dollar wisely invested can grow into something extraordinary, given enough time. It's not about how much you start with, but how long you let it grow. But patience is key. Imagine if a farmer planted seeds and then dug them up every week to check if they had grown. It would be ridiculous. Yet, this is exactly how many people treat their investments. They put money into something, obsessively watch the market, panic at every little drop, and end up selling at the worst possible moment. Instead, think long-term. Water your financial seeds consistently, whether it's through automatic investments, a steady savings habit, or developing high-income skills. Let them grow. And once they do, they'll provide security, stability, and even opportunities for generations to come. Because that's the thing about trees. They don't just benefit the person who plants them. They provide shade, fruit, and shelter for years, sometimes even centuries. So, here's a challenge for you. Spend just 20 minutes this week reviewing your financial habits. Are you planting the right seeds? Do you have a long-term plan? If not, start small. Even if it's just opening a savings account, setting up an investment portfolio, or learning about financial growth strategies. Just start. Remember, every great oak tree started as a tiny seed. The man who read about trees in 1920 knew something that most people still don't understand today. Wealth isn't about chasing the wind. It's about planting roots that stand the test of time. So, what kind of financial forest are you growing?